What it do, family? What it do? What it do? You know what I'm saying? I thank God another day that He's helping me make it through. I thank God. You know, here at work, some people can't. Some people can't. They thought it was gonna be smooth. They thought it was gonna be easy. They thought they were just gonna make things work here at work, but they see it's not easy. So you know what I mean? People getting injured, all type of stuff happening here at work. But I know I gotta stay focused. I gotta stay down. I gotta do what I need to do, regardless of what's going on. You know what I mean? And for folks that reach a level in they targeting that they kind of compete, you know what I'm saying? The so-called TI community and things like that. You know, I'm not here to judge other TIs. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to call out the perps. But yeah, it is true. The TI community is really not a TI community. It's basically, especially on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? All in general, I can't really say because the main platform that I use is YouTube. I don't get on Rumble. I don't get on TikTok. I don't get on all these other platforms. But I can assure you that majority of those platforms are infiltrated by perps, by people perpetrating, pretending that they TIs, or they could have been TIs once upon a time, but they compromised. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't handle it. They probably linked up with people and they just doing their job. Or you got the TIs or perps or whatever on the online, and they're just using it to capitalize off of people, using the program to have their way, using the hearts of people. You know what I'm saying? The people that work hard for their money to get donations. And ain't nothing, I guess, ain't nothing wrong with, you know what I'm saying, asking for donations if you actually trying to do something with it to better your life. You know what I mean? But it's like, it's a problem when you just using it because you just lazy. There's a difference between, you know, asking for donations to help out for you to get further in life and then use that money and then just start doing your thing, or actually coming up with some ways to build up a membership. You know what I'm saying? If you know the program inside and out and you helping people and stuff like that, hey, if you want to capitalize off of being a TI and charge people and make a membership, ain't nothing wrong with that. It's free. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, it's free because of the victimhood I went through. I'm not gonna capitalize off of this program. You know what I'm saying? But for people who do want to profit off of it, instead of just asking for donations, build up a legitimate business online. That's legal. If you got the talk game, if you know the ins and out of the program and stuff like that, why don't you set up a website? Why don't you set up some type of money instead of just asking people, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? For food and stuff, you know, like that's, especially if you've been in this game for a long time. You know, if you've been in this thing for a long time, you know, just to get on here to take advantage for people, me personally, my opinion, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that's right. You know what I'm saying? Because as there's new TRs or there's people that's really trying to get game on this, and it's like you depriving them from that game, or you depriving them from knowing how to navigate through this thing, and because of how you're being treated or because you're not getting the proper attention or the proper donations from people who struggling just like you struggling. You see what I'm saying? So you got to have a mindset, like, you know what I mean? Like if you really going through this, you know what I mean? You got to you got to like, we got to be like, you know, brothers in this thing, you know, we correct each other and, you know what I'm saying? Help each other. You know what I mean? Now, if you want to make you a membership platform or something like that where people got to pay, that's fine. You can do that. But just people just need to peep. Some people just on here to take advantage, you know what I'm saying, of people. Take their money, take advantage of people. Some people lead people wrong. in this TI community. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with spreading your belief system. If you want to, you know what I'm saying, get people to be on the new age consciousness, or, you know what I'm saying, you leading people, you know, towards the Bible to know how to navigate and have a better characteristics in this thing and motivate and encourage people. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, if you just stuck on, you know what I'm saying, let's go through the judicial system, let's try to figure out a way to come together and beat them at their own game in the court system and gather up evidence, ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? But when you start digging down these rabbit holes where you're helping pushing people towards mental health, when you're helping pushing people towards mental health, where you're going way above and beyond, like with the reptilians and alien stuff, and you're really digging deep into conspiracy, ain't nothing, you know, wrong with just venting and just talking about it. But when you just pushing people like, oh no, it's just we dealing with all type of lizard people and we dealing with all this type of stuff, then people gonna look at you like you mental health, because some people gonna take your advice and run with it. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody knows how to eat the fish and spit out the bones. So it's just like, be careful with what the message that you're spending, because are sending. Because a lot of people are on here, you know what I'm saying, purposely leading people down these rabbit holes, you know what I'm saying, and not leading people to a character of morale. You know, my thing is, you know what I'm saying, since I have an intimacy with God, and I'm going through this, I know that with my bond with God, God has helped me through this program, helped me not crash out. So when I get on, you know, and make these platforms, make these daily videos while I'm at work, I try to send a message of encouragement. I don't try to capitalize off of my message to make it money off of talking about God and telling people how to navigate. But people are different. And I understand that. But instead of asking for a donation, why don't you create, you know, if you have all this good content and stuff like that, you got all these subscribers, why don't you create a way for you to make money? Open, you know what I'm saying, a membership, you know what I'm saying? Or use your mind to open up your own website. And if people really digging you like that, they can go on your website that you created. There's nothing for people to make their own website. And for people to join your website, they have to pay like $30 for membership. You know what I'm saying? And for the real good content and stuff like that, if you want them to pay for that, boom, like that. But if you get on YouTube and stuff and you really going through this, like, you know what I mean? The game should be free. You know what I'm saying? Because people gonna look at it like you a perp because you capitalizing off of people like that. You know what I'm saying? Or people get on here to stir up conflict. You know what I mean? They bashing people because they feel they don't have the right documentations or a competition. This thing's not a competition of who's suffering the most or who can prove the most. You know what I'm saying? We actually trying to bring an end to this program, which to me, I see that's kind of hard to do, but there might be brighter people. Maybe I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I feel like I can share some of my wisdom on how to navigate and keep a close relationship with God. But we all need help here. You know what I'm saying? If you're not a perp, we need help. It's not a competition thing. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you want to make a business out of your knowledge and stuff like that, you can do that. But just getting on here, just asking for donations, that ain't cool. You know what I mean? I don't think it's cool at all. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my opinion. You know what I mean? I believe a man is supposed to get out here and work. You feel me? And yeah, we are handicapped out here, but that's no excuse. You can still find some type of work. You know what I mean? You just got to peep. There's a bunch of people just using this program so that they continue to be lazy and stuff like that and take advantage of you. And there's people on here that just create artificial beef so that TIs can't get together. Their whole purpose is to make sure that TIs are not getting together. Keep it separated. Because majority of the TIs are people that's probably not making documentations. They're people that suffering in silence and stuff because their trust issues are, you know what I'm saying? It's hard. They probably got their heart broke by other people that they thought were real TIs and found out they were perps. You know what I'm saying? So this is what's going on. Probably about a good 80% of so-called TIs on YouTube has become agents. You know what I'm saying? That's the harshness of the truth. So you really have to eat the fish and spit out the bones. It's going to be really hard for you to decipher, for the TIs to come together. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be really hard. But you have discernment. If there's a person with a good character, a good morale, you know what I'm saying, they actually have a heart, and you can kind of peep out who the perps. The perps are usually people who are self-centered, narcissistic people, very egotistical. Those are the people you can easily identify. You know what I'm saying? So like if you dealing with people that's not egotistical, they seem genuine, they really going through things, and you know what I'm saying? We all have this program all has traumatized us, so we all have some type of mental health issues for a certain degree. But if you still have a mind of reasoning, we could still try to make this thing work with our wisdom and come together and try to find solutions and ways to navigate and try to live the best normal life that we can live, instead of scamming each other, trying to make money off of each other, beefing at each other because we feel like a person's a perp. You know what I'm saying? Because we've been sensitized to some things. You know what I'm saying? You just have to have discernment. Peep the person's character. You know what I'm saying? Peep their character. Don't mind the tactics that you think. Just peep their character. You know what I'm saying? Peep their history, their timeline. You know what I'm saying? Their growth. You know what I mean? Do they have a self-centered, egotistical mindset, or are they actually trying to help their fellow TIs? With that being said, I gotta go back to work. Peace.